All right, we are live, Instagram and YouTube, same time. I hope I got the cameras up and down, so hopefully it all syncs well. Let's jump right into it. I got 4 questions that came in today, and actually 3 today, 1 earlier in the week. And I feel like as I keep doing these live Q&As, it feels like more and more questions these days are definitely towards rentals. Totally different than where they were, let's say 6 months ago, or even, a couple months ago for that matter. So yeah, we're definitely more in the rental space, but let's jump right in it. Why are there rental bidding wars? Question number 1. So today, and it's not just today, but there's a unit listed on MLS right now. It's listed at 1900 and offer date is 5 days away. So now we are starting to see what we were seeing in housing for a long time. We're starting to see that there's offer dates for rentals. So yes, 6 days from now, that unit will be collecting all the offers at the same time. And I'm guessing, it is priced well below where it should be. It's probably $400-$500 cheaper than, or cheaper. It's $400 or $500 lower than what it should be at right now. So I would say that we will see where that thing lands. I'm going to definitely keep my eye on it. But the reason there's been a ton of bidding wars is just there's a lot of people looking for rentals right now, and it's not just this unit that is seeing 1, 2, 3. Well, we'll see how many offers they get, but we're seeing multiple offers on pretty much most properties that are well photographed and look really good. The stuff that looks good is definitely getting a ton of action. So people have kind of buyer sentiment has definitely changed, and obviously interest rates have gone up, and that's pushed people maybe into a more of a rental state of mind where they feel like if they can rent a better place than what the interest rates are, pushing them from a buying perspective, I would say they're going more towards rentals right now. But we'll see how that plays out. However, when we're starting to see $2,500, $2,600, $2,700 a month for a 1-bedroom, 1+ den, that's a lot of money. So definitely we're seeing a lot of rental bidding wars, that's for sure. So let's jump into the next question. This is something that got brought up yesterday, and it's, what are my thoughts on ending the vacancy decontrol? So essentially right now in Toronto, we're seeing, it just got brought to council yesterday, where there's the thought of ending vacancy decontrol, which means that the landlords are not allowed to change the rent price between renters, not only on a renter. Obviously, we know the rules for that. We've gone over it several times, but you can't change the price between renters. My thoughts on it, I think it's absolutely, let's think of this for a second. Costs have been going up for landlords as well, not just for everybody, also for landlords. Condo fees have been going up, especially during COVID and everything, with all the protocols and things like that. There's a lot of the buildings have added cost. We also have, interest rates are going up. So things aren't exactly getting cheaper for landlords. And I know a lot of people think that all landlords are, huge multi-corporations, but they're not. There's a lot of everyday, mom and pop landlords that have been trying to build their wealth. And by doing so, they take the risk on of purchasing a property and trying to let that accumulate over the course of time, and at the same time provide somewhere for someone to live. Now, I think what's going to happen is if we end this rule and we end the vacancy decontrol, I think what's going to happen is landlords are just going to put their lease price extremely high. I think we're going to push the prices way higher. And at the same time right now, I know everyone's blaming landlords for raising the prices, but if a property has 4, 5, 6 offers to lease on it right now, and these offers are coming in much higher than what they were listed at, keep in mind, like 2 years ago, a 1-bedroom, went as low as, I saw some 1-bedrooms last year, even at like $1,700-$1,800 a month. And, this year, as things have been opening back up, the demand has gotten so high that we are trending in the $2,200, $2,300, $2,400 for some of those places. And it's not to blame landlords. They're not exactly just going out there and saying, okay, I want $3,000 for my property. They might get 7 offers, even though they're listed at $2,100, and then it ends up renting for $2,300. And then, as we know with the market, as that keeps happening over and over again, then the new rental price will inevitably become 22, 2300 to keep up with the market. So my thoughts on it, I think that if they decide to end this, especially in Toronto, one, I think a lot of landlords might not be willing to continue being landlords, and we might see a sell-off of rental properties, which obviously takes, housing out of the market, which is not what anyone's trying to do right now. And two, I think that rents will be even higher. I think landlords are going to say, well, if I can't raise the rent for the next 5 years or forever, basically, I'm going to price it at a 5-year, 10-year down the line price. And just kind of like what we see in pre-sale condos, pre-construction properties, is that they're pricing right now for 5 years down the road. So not sure it's a great decision to end that. That's for sure. Better to buy now than rent. This is a question. I feel like I got this 3-4 times in the weekend during my open house. Honestly, it really just depends. It depends on your personal situation. It depends on, rates are up. So are you able to weather that storm on a monthly payment? I do think that there's great prices on properties right now, stuff that we were seeing for like $100,000, more expensive like 4 months ago is now on a $100,000 discount, let's say. And I do think that it could present a great opportunity. However, the monthly cost is definitely probably about the same, but your purchase price could be lower. So your down payment's lower. So your point of entry is lower. However, the monthly is something to factor in. So if you can still afford the monthly payment and you are looking to buy and you don't want to pay the super high rent prices right now, maybe it's a great time to jump in the market. Last one, mortgage broker versus bank. It's definitely a question that I feel like it's asked very often. I do think that, first of all, I'm not a mortgage broker, but I will say in experience that mortgage brokers will shop you around to the banks, and typically they're working for you, whereas the bank works for the bank. So something just to consider when you're doing your due diligence and trying to get pre-approved. And there's nothing wrong with contacting your bank and asking them what they can do for you, and then contacting a mortgage broker and seeing what they can do. And that way you get all the avenues, and they'll all be able to answer your questions. And go with someone that you're comfortable with, someone that's going to represent you and do the job to work in your best interest. So that's it. Live Q&A. Hope you enjoyed the questions, and we'll see you guys next week.